Hey YouTube, last week I've put on a video where I took apart an HP inkjet printer, a PhotoSmart 7 something, and I was playing around with this mechanism, the carriage drive, just moving it around. But this is about just a short review on which parts I took out of it. I didn't break it apart, I took it apart, so just like it was built, I made sure to remove every screw and all the different modules in the right order, and you can see that in the video, and then also dismantle them. This is the frame that's left over. This is the carriage drive. I just put it back on after I removed it. It's held by 2 screws, and it has a motor here and this belt. And just to put this aside, I got this box. It's from the power supply, and I already started making something out of it. You can pretty much guess what it's going to be. A whole bunch of gears, springs, screws. I'm saving some of the parts from the printer because I have an ID for it, but this was the carriage unit that held the inks, and we have all sorts of shafts and also metal shafts, and it's not junk. You can, once you take these rubber bands off, which you can also use. I use them in the model building, but you can take the shaft, you can cut it, you can put it in a lathe and then reshape it, so it's a piece of metal and it can always be worked again. And plastic bits that are quite sturdy, and they look like just generic bits that you can fit and drill holes in and mount things on. Belts and all these nice little things. I use them all in my hobby. You also get a bunch of electronics out of it. Most of the videos that I saw pretty much discard the electronic parts that you can get out of. They just mention sensors, but yeah, what can you do with them exactly? So, well, I have first of all this cable. It's the power cord, and I also got out the power, there it is, the port. So I have this part alone cost like €1, and another motor. These are 6 to 24 volt motors, apart from this little small one, which is a 5 volt motor. So I got 3 motors in total out of the €5 printer that I bought second hand. This, you know what it is, I forgot the name of it. And an LCD screen. It's just a standard LCD. It just comes with this strip. So I need to buy a port for it, or get the one off the original board, and then I can just connect wires and use it. A USB port. There were 2. One got broken, so I was left with 1. This comes out of the transformer. I don't use it as a part, but it has copper wire inside, isolated wire, so you can make your own coils out of it. And again, these are coils that I got out of. The coils are the only thing I pretty much save out of boards. All the rest of the parts are pretty much cheap and readily available, but coils are always nice. And sensors. So we have this one, Don't know if you can see it. There we go. So this is the drive encoder, position encoder. So there was a belt, and here it is. And just open this. So we have a strip here, and this is the encoder, and it's just a piece of plastic which has I think about 200 lines per inch, and that tells the sensor, well, the sensor counts the lines, and then the controller knows where the carriage unit is. And this also comes in a format of a wheel. This was the paper feed. This was attached to the paper feed mechanism, and again, same idea. So we have this black line around, and it's filled with these little lines, and then you can count exactly how many lines and calculate the position of the wheel. And these are the sensors that come with it. So there are two. One was on the board of the carriage unit, and one came on this own little board of itself, which is handy because then, as you can see, I can use it with the board itself. Now, one thing is that when you take apart brand appliances, don't expect the wires to be the colors that you're used to. So you would open it up and you will see like black and red and green and blue, and you would immediately say like the red and the black, oh, that's positive and negative. But no, usually from what I saw so far, all these companies, they have their own wiring colors, and I think it's just to make it easier to use these parts again for people who have no clue. This is just a plate. It came off the back of the printer, and it can be used as a switch. It's a like mechanical switch. So this would detect when the back hatch of the printer is closed, and just a metal plate would close these two and just connect it with positive, and the screw that connects to the body and forms ground. Just a little bit about these sensors. So this is an encoder sensor. This one and this one also. They were the main reason why I wanted to take apart this printer. As I said, I have an ID for it, but here we have just I think it's called an obstruction sensor. So if something comes here in the middle, it sends a signal, and then we know that, well, something came here in the middle. Just to show you how you can work with these. So I've marked them up, and as you can see, we have green, which is the positive, and we have black, which is the A channel, and we have the blue, which is the negative, and we have our red, which is the B channel. Now, the way it works is that, again, the encoder strip goes inside here, and this sensor has a light source on one side and a detector on the other side, and once a black strip blocks the light from the detector, then one channel goes high and the other one goes low, and once the black bar has moved on and it's clear again, then the B channel will go high and the A channel will go low. And as I mentioned, there are 200 lines per inch, I think, on this strip. But if you take into account that the controller can also calculate the voltage variations when there is like half black and half white, it can also calculate positions in between. Let me just hook it up here. and then we can see exactly how it works. You know what, I'll start with this one. This is just our obstruction sensor. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way I call it. We have our negative. And we have our positive. Sort of shooting this video raw. Been kind of lazy the last week. Still need to make my video on the model, which I'm pretty much finished with, but I just didn't get the time to do it. Well, I don't know if the time, but the will. But in any case, let's connect just our voltmeter here, multimeter. And then we can see exactly how this thing goes. Okay, so you can see that it shows us 1.9, 1.8 volts. And now it fluctuates because I'm touching it all over, and that changes the light sources here. But if I take just anything and I put it in between, it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Because let's take this one. There you go. So you see, so once we have an interference, we can see that the voltage just drops. And the other sensor, this one, works exactly like on the same principle like this one, only it's finer. So it can calculate much more thinner lines that come in between. Let's just hook this one up. So we have our positive here. Man, I hate this red breadboard. And I don't feel like cutting this, so really trying to make it fast so that I don't have to do any editing, because making these videos is a hell of a lot of time, let me tell you that. Okay, well, this one got out. Not the best work, but we'll get this done. Come on, go in there. There we go. We just need one for our example. And there we go. Okay, let's hook up our negative. And we'll hook up our positive to the output. There we go. So you can see we have 3.5 volt going here. And I'm going to use the wheel because it's easier than the strip. And my battery is running low, so need to make it quick. Here we have our 3.5, and once I put this thing in, you can see that the voltage fluctuates. Now you have to remember that this one has like 200 lines per inch, so obviously with my shaky hands you won't see anything clear, but you can see that as I'm moving it even slightly, the voltage changes, and that occurs on one channel and it also occurs on the other channel, so you can calculate the voltage differences and know exactly where between the lines or on the lines this sensor is positioned. And that's about it. So I hope you liked it, and I'm gonna keep uploading these videos. It's a new type of video that I'm adding to my channel, where I'm taking apart things and then just showing what's inside and how you can use it and how you can utilize it. To sum it up, I bought the printer for €5 and I got about €30 worth of things, including the motors, the sensors, and all the other bits of metal, which also eventually cost money. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.